overtake. Slow moving cars may not overtake after turn 12, which is the hairpin towards the end of a lap. But we we all know what happened there a few years ago in real F1. So that rather famous corner now, do not be overtaking other cars that are on outlaps after that point. If you're behind someone, you don't want to be behind someone. So look, you can drive through the pit lane, or you can just slow down in as safe a way as possible. You got to start on your qualifying tyres, but that should be forced within the session. You have to change tyre compound during a race, otherwise you'll be disqualified, and it has to be a compound change, not just a tyre change. So if you're starting on the softs, you have to switch to the mediums, or vice versa, or you can go to hards if you really want to. We have the live stewarding, obviously, but if something you think hasn't been spotted, you can tell us on the radio. That is one of the uses of the radio that we allow. But otherwise, that will need to be reported to us in a ticket after the race if you can't get on the radio to us. Also, just want to make it clear, because there has been a couple of times, the radio is, you can't, if you think someone else has caused an incident, do not have it if you really want to. Don't bring that up with them on the radio during the race, because that's not allowed. But what you can do is sort of come onto the radio and say you want to report an incident to the stewards, and then we'll have a more of a look at it. Sometimes we might say that something will be investigated after the race, because we want to have more time to look at something in more detail and input from both drivers. If it's not as clear cut as some of the drivers might think it will be. Safety car, I think, has been avoided in the last couple of races, so I'll go over that again quickly. It's the manually driven AMG GT3 car. So what will happen is I will come on the race control voice channel, so you need to make sure you can hear voice channel, and that will go out live to all of you, and every message will also come up as a text messaging channel, which I'm sure some of you saw in practice. We were just making sure all of them were working. I will check that they're working in this practice session before the end, so I'll get that done and make sure all of that is working. Yeah, so the safety car driver also comes up as safety car on your relative as well, so that's important to note. But it will get called out when it's coming up, and it should show up as a different class, I'm hoping, but it might not. So just be aware that he'll come up as safety car, but it will be very clear over the voice channels and the text channels what is happening. If there are lapped cars, we will manually tell those cars to overtake the safety car and drive around. It won't be an in-game prompt, but we'll manually tell you to drop around. The pit lane will be open when there's a safety car. It's not going to be closed at any point, because that wouldn't be representative to what we have in real life. We'll give plenty of warning. Okay, safety car will come up as the same class as F1, so we'll try and get that changed for next time as well. That's probably my mistake when setting up the session, so sorry about that, guys. But he will come up as safety car quite clearly in the session with his nickname in the league. I'm just looking if there's anything sort of key else in here. Nothing that I can see. Blue flags, you have to get out of the way. It's not the iRacing rule, it's the rule that the FIA use in Formula 1 that we're using, which is you have to get out of the way as soon as possible, which we're sort of saying is the next straight, which around here makes sense to us. You need to get out of the way of leaders if you're a lap down, which is basically whenever the blue flag comes up on iRacing, you need to be wary of it and getting out of the way. If you think you're being held up and they're not getting out of the way, you can come on the radio and let us know of that, and we'll take a look at it. But once again, that's not having a go at the car in front for not following blue flags. That's saying race control. I don't think the driver in front is correctly using blue flags or following the blue flag protocol, however you want to word it. Safety car won't pit on the same lap as lapped cars are let by, because we want everyone to be able to rejoin the train, which is how it should be done. And yeah, you'll get plenty of warning for safety car. I think we're probably going to aim for that little straight, which I'm struggling to remember exactly what corner it is now, which is just before the final sector. So I'm going to post all of these briefing notes into the W12 channel as well, so you'll all be able to see that. And thanks for joining, guys. There'll be a track map on there as well if you're not sure of corner numbers, which is what I've used to describe some things. So enjoy the race, and I hope everyone has a good one.
Well, hello and welcome everybody to some more anti-store racing with the W12s, the Formula One cars. This is round 8 here at Hockenheim, or the Hockenheim Ring, per se, here in Germany, of course. It's going to be a fantastic track. I haven't visited here in a Formula One car in some times, obviously, because the regular Formula One does not occur around this track at the moment, but we will be today, and it's going to be an exciting one because we got essentially a whole bunch, about 20 or so gladiators, I believe, including a safety car that will hopefully not use today. Or not, as you just heard with the driver's briefing before. Well, I am the Biggles, and of course, I'm going to be doing this today with Geza.
Yes. Hello. Should be an interesting race. I don't know the track too well myself, so it'll be nice to learn about this track and watch some of our best drivers go around it.
Fantastic. I've just seen something on my Discord that I've never seen before in my life. Absolutely insane of when my eyes are playing tricks on me, but everything is shaking up and down, left, right, and center like it's vibrating. Weird. I might have to restart that for a second. It's playing with my eyes. Well, they're underway for a practice session. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, currently in practice session. I was about to say exactly the same thing. So practice session got another 10 minutes left until qualifying, and it is an open qualifying as well, not solo like iRacing typically forces you. Radecki Gregor's at the top there with 111.7.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, fixed my Discord issue. So currently at the moment, how is the standings? If you'd like to pull it up, right on cue. With Alex getting the one win there, 4 podiums. Goes to show you once again, consistency is key. You can be leading a championship just with the 1 win. Mark and Luca, they're 3 each. Mark, obviously, a little bit more consistent with the podium. Well, as I'm hearing, Geza go a little crazy on the microphone there.
Not the streaming microphone, so they didn't hear it.
Aha, fantastic.
Yeah, so Radecki currently at the top of the timesheets. He was currently sat in P5. No wins to his name, but a single podium. So, you know, I think he has a chance of getting up to P3 if he can win a couple of races. But he will be fighting against Hans Schlogel, who has had 4 podiums now, but no wins. Obviously, Luca Wunsch still hasn't showed up again after his absolutely devastating race at Austria. So I can expect that he probably won't turn up again. So he's going to fall down the timesheets pretty quickly when the other guys start getting some podiums.
Yeah, perhaps he just can't race anymore, something like that. His loss, unfortunately, because he could be nice and strong in this championship.
And you know,
but it could be the day for Hans.
Yeah, I mean,
perhaps get his first win today. Yeah.
We did just see him jump up to 2nd place and now 3rd place once Alex Aguirre set a lap.
And Hans obviously is from Austria, according to the flag there. So just across the border. Here to Hockenheim. Now I'm going to get all the corner names a little bit incorrect. Turn 2. Well, he's actually currently approaching Sars Curve. Turn 13. A big sweeping around the grandstand section. A great place. 14 and 15, little kink here. 16 will be Sudkurv, and he's going to retire into the pit lane. Curve, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, is K. It's in German. It's Kurve. We need our Romanian commentator in there. He's awesome with different languages.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's he came to me the other day and said he has got COVID at the minute. So wishing him the best in recovering. Never know, he might be watching. You know, call out there for you, Edward. You are here.
Yeah. Ed, we miss you. Yeah, recover. It seems like everybody has got COVID now.
Yeah, it's a big one this time, I think.
I mean,
What's,
thankfully, most people, you know, it's just knocks you out a couple of days in bed, but not hospitalizations. Serious hospitalizations, anyway. Thankfully, for most. As Paulo Lopez is definitely from, I'd have to say Portugal, because he's got the whole Portugal livery. He's got the flag. They're very, very proud to be Portuguese. Good on him.
And he's currently sat in 4th place as well, so he's got a good chance at the top 3 there. I am enjoying his livery, though.
Mm-hmm. There are some great liveries. He's going around the kink of 8. Turn 8. That's turn 8, 9, 10, and 11 right here. And then he goes down this little bit of a straight there, and we'll go on to any fart, Motordrome. That's what it sounds like. Eden far. I don't know. I'm gonna just Motordrome. I'd say.
Good try.
2 part. Yeah, because I'm not familiar. But this is not obviously in the Formula 1 game at the moment. So as Paulo stays in that P4 position currently at the moment, provisionally, it's only practice. Gives us a good indication of what sort of times you're going to be expecting from these gladiators as they're making their way into the qualifying session shortly after this. We're at the best time currently at the moment in the 11s from Radik and Alex, and everybody else is in 12s and 13s and so on. Still a few drivers yet to come out and put a lap time in there of Stefan and Troy. Safety car hasn't done any laps. Fantastic you've got it called as a safety car. Some of the other leagues I commentate for in iRacing actually have a driver's name there. So I guess you could rename it to safety car.
Yep, you can set player nicknames in your settings.
That's what they need to do then.
And,
unless we just put Bernard Meyer. Bernard Meyer, sorry.
Very good point. They could do that. So Mark Stevens here. I believe he did say he was a fan of this.
Yeah, well, we spoke to him last week.
Yeah, and currently it's at P2 in the standings, looking to make that P1 probably today. So he's going to have a fight on his hands if he can't get higher up than P10 in the standings right now. Although, only practice, he could be sandbagging a bit. Could be keeping it nice and chill. Perhaps he's eating his dinner at the same time.
That's true. Can he, obviously, you can fuel your car up to be heavy for race conditions and stuff like that? For practice?
Yeah. You can choose the amount of fuel in your car.
So he could be doing a race run.
Very good point. Yeah, he could be
race trim.
Full weight.
And obviously during the practice sessions as well too, they'll be tweaking their cars.
And just so you guys know as well, little red icons flashing up next to people's names. That is every time they get an off track. A bit of an issue, a little red flag, and it generally is just off.
And to explain as well the warning system for your track violations and things like that.
Yeah, of course. So there is instant points in iRacing. Anybody that's played iRacing will know that. Any of our viewers who haven't played iRacing, there is an incident system where off track you get will give you basically a loss of control will give you 2 instant points, and a collision another vehicle will give you 4 incident points. And there will be an incident limit as well, which I'm quickly looking through the notes to find out what that incident limit is today. do believe it's either 17 or 25, but I don't know.
And those off tracks that you mentioned, sometimes it's just, as Mark's entering into the pit lane, it's just some of the drivers just pulling off to the side as well too to retire the car so it can instantly be returned back into the pit lane. Or you could drive it back in just as what Mark did, which is probably not a bad idea as well too, because also helps you get a little bit of practice entering into the pit lane. Get your speeding in the pit lane doesn't seem to be something that's very possible here.
Yeah, no, you can speed in the pit lane, and it gives you, I believe, drive-through.
Aha. So we will have to be very careful that some of the gladiators don't. Ooh, big accident coming out of the pit lane. Now somebody's stopped right there, and that's not going to be too happy with the marshals, although it is a practice session.
There'll be much marshalling going on during the practice session, although there is only 32 seconds left of this practice session. And we've got Radecki and Gregors still in P1, so I think the big guns are going to come out during qualifying. Yeah,
Radek and Alex, the only two drivers that are in the 11s, as you can see, 11:17s, 11:77 is their best, and 11:93. That's 1 minute 11, two guys, of course, not 11 seconds. They did do that. They're going to have the world record. Which, mind you, I should have actually checked. Do my little homework, which I will, and find out what the actual world record here in iRacing is around this track.
And confirmed it is 17 incident drive-through.
Okay, now, Martin, now who's our live marshal this evening?
Say that again, sorry.
Who will be our live marshal this evening?
That's George. George is our marshal this evening.
So George will be sitting up in the race control there, and with all next to Michael Massey with all the monitors and checking out all the different replays and incidents and stuff like that with drivers if we're reported. And that will actually be reported to us, I believe, in the Discord, so we'll be able to read those messages as they come through in the next time. And
he's also
I'll relay that.
Assisted by Niels and Scott with a live driver.
Wow, you got the whole FIA crew up there.
Yeah, we generally do. You see at least two people usually, so, 4 people in there. Safe driver is pretty good today.
Nice.
We've got Victor Belia out first for qualifying. Looks like he's going to let... not entirely sure who that is. Looks like Alex's livery. It is Alex, yeah. Let Alex out in front, hopefully, unless they're going to try and race. Hopefully they're not. Qualifying.
Yeah, I'm just going to check the records. I had it up today.
On board with that with Alex. Did purple sector 1, obviously because he's the first one to do it. Quickly stolen by Paolo. It's been stolen by someone else. Can't currently see on screen. Also attempting the qualifying on mediums as well. Very smooth, very precise, hitting every curb by the looks of it, using every inch of track space available to him. And he purples sector 2 and sector 3, which don't get taken away from him straight away. Setting a 111.5.
Johan's hitting some purples at the moment, as you can see. So a little bit further down the road, Hans goes up at a P3, sets E112. flat almost. What about Johan? How's he going to be looking up at Lee Barmer? Sure, I'm currently on board with that you can see. Number 24 car. Up into P5 currently at the moment. But this is the man of Johan. Could be stealing a
purple last sector if he can. He doesn't, but he got P3 there. Quite comfortable sitting there, I think. At the moment, at least.
Johan to P3? No. Johan retired from the session. If I'm not mistaken. Didn't set a time yet. I haven't seen him actually. Is he not even in the game? No, Johan's there. He just didn't set a time. He must have backed off on that.
Yeah, he must have backed off. He's definitely still here, as he's on my telemetry still. I think we've only lost a couple of drivers. We've only lost... Oh, we have lost a couple, actually. We've lost Frederick, Wanto, and Hans Vujis for the moment. Wanto just in. Getting his car now.
Keep an eye on Lee Barmer's a little bit slower on this one. So you could be looking up 2 laps as he gets out of the way there, but there's a bit of traffic at the moment during qualifying. You've also got Sebastian and Carlos. Carlos is going through the first into the second sector at the moment. Joe also in the second sector, but in the final sector right now is Sebastian. His lead does not improve in his time. There's the traffic. We might see that, but they did mention about the blue flags. They do have to get out of the way, just like the real F1. In this case, obviously, you don't have to get out of the way if you're on a flying lap as well. I'm interested at the moment to see. We still have a bit of time in qualifying, but we didn't see Radicki, sorry. Reddy. His name correctly. The Rad Star. We have not seen him come out yet. Remember, he was the quickest during the free practice session. As Mark Stevens, we know that man can be quick, but you can see at the moment, middle sector, let's see, it's not really the best for him unless he lights up a purple. As Steve, I believe, is heading to the pit lane right now.
Alex setting a purple.
Alex is setting a purple. Yes.
And Paolo and Victor also ahead of their previous Delta at the minute.
Alex boxed as well before that, so he didn't want to complete that lap. Probably knows there's a lot more time to find and doesn't want to burn it all up just yet. Well, it's in early days of qualifying still. Probably not a bad little idea, isn't it, to kind of not set that massively too quick time there, because it kind of gives everybody a challenge. Gives everybody a target on your back, per se.
Victor currently nearly half a second up on his previous time.
Yeah, Victor Biego. Victor Polio, sorry. Yeah, he's actually broken into the 11s.
Up. 7/10 up. Ah, this guy's on fire for his second lap. A whole second up. Oh,
he pulled out.
There.
Yeah, that's another one. Another driver this evening.
Might pop back in any second. Yeah, he just popped back in, and he's still 9/10 up, I believe. He was 10th down by the end of that. Obviously, the dropout that he had affected something there for my telemetry. Steven Grabowski currently ahead of his time. 3/10 up from what he previously did.
Yeah, I must be looking at the right fastest lap times, because I'm just noticing it's 75. That could be race. That's race conditions, yes. At 112.6 for race conditions. Alex is flying, as you can see. Haynes is also out on track a little bit further down the road there from Alex, but Alex's middle sector still. Maybe Alex might back off on this one. Will he commit to it? He does, and he commits to the top of the timesheet. Yeah. He backed out again. He's still set that one 11:59.
Oh, curious. Oh, fair enough. He must have pulled over straight after the straight after I jumped the camera to him. And Schlogel on a good lap here. He's 5/10 up. Straight to P2.
It's 1/10. 1/10 and change just down the road there from Alex's time, so I think he'll be pretty happy with that one.
So both Paolo and Victor now trying to get a bit quicker. Paolo actually managing to travel a bit quicker at the minute. See if he can hang on to that. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Paolo.
Just as Geza said, just as Geza goes, see if he can hang on to it, he spins.
Yeah, maybe I won't say those words anymore.
Come straight back out, but so he's not messing around. Joe's out there. You can see Victor. I have to refresh my track map so it will show up. You have to do the refresh, I believe. Yeah, or at the start of a race or qualifying, which we're recording qualifying. So 10 minutes of change to go. We still have not seen Radicki out there yet. And Jonko? Jonkto? Has not.
Yeah, he hasn't set a time yet. Or not a legal time, anyway.
Well, Rad's going to come across the car. Yeah, there he is. There he goes. So he's going to complete this lap. That'll be his first one, but I don't think it'll be really where he wanted it to be. Maybe he'll go for a second lap here. It's only going to put him currently up into P4. Not bad for his first lap up.
I think he can definitely do better than that.
Yep, I think so for sure. He's in the 11s, where he was during practice. I think he's going to head straight back out to... remember, that's his first lap. So, it's not a bad banker to get in there. Now we now have 5 drivers currently in the 111 range. I wonder if anybody can crack the low 11s.
Lee Barmer is 2 seconds ahead of his previous time. Gonna go shooting up the timesheet with the time. Okay, my timesheet must have been slightly off there. He might have been 2 seconds down and I misread it. Watching Onto Oval now. Get to set a time. I'm guessing the timesheet in P16. Mark Steve back in the car. Now exiting the pit. 7.5 minutes left on this qualifying. And it appears got our head steward.
Yes, just joined. I don't know if you noticed we disqualified somebody, but it was somebody joined in the incorrect car, so they'd accidentally joined in the GT3, which is of course only for the safety car, so that's why we had to issue that disqualification. They quickly realised and left the session though, so just clarifying that if anyone was confused.
Was that Frederick by any chance?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, okay, I saw him on my timesheet and thought, oh, that's weird.
Yeah, alright, no worries guys. Good stream so far.
Thank you. And that was the Mighty George. Race control. Mapping out the Banhammer.
Yeah, Radic was setting up a purple sector there for a second. But he made an error, I think, in the third sector and just quite improve on his time.
I don't think we'll quite see pace from practice yet. Storing it all up, ready for the actual race. Still watching Mark Stevens now. Still, although we do get Johan Roussel up to the top of the leaderboard with 1:11.4. That came out of nowhere. Was not expecting that one. Mark Stevens getting a good toe now. Or he was until the car in front of him decided to pull over and quit.
Oh. So I can't find those times, unfortunately, for the fastest lap on the Sim Racing Hub anyway, which is weird. I guess nobody races here in the W12s. That's a first. They don't. They have, they have Spa and even Daytona, road course, course, Hungary.
Yeah, the calendar that we're following is the same as the iRacing calendar, but we do our race the day before the iRacing calendar changes to that track. So I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't have this track on the previous 12, and this week will be the first season. Which is why you
don't even see the track map in there. Underneath the W12. But anyway, back to that. As Radic is the quickest man through that middle sector again. P2. We're expecting this going to be a very good time between himself there, Alex, and Johan's obviously is the quickest man at the moment.
But look
still
how close the top 5 are.
I know, 4 thousandths of a second. 6 thousandths of a second. It's crazy. So getting down to the business center qualifying, very busy track, as you can see on that track map. Practically everybody, every man and their dog is out on the track currently at the moment. It's a couple on pit lane just recently, but lots of people out on out laps, putting in as many bankers as they possibly can. So Alex takes the steals at top of the timesheets, back up to the top where he likes to be. With a very good time. It's going into the 11.3s now. I'm wondering if anybody could break into the 10s.
Oh, that'd be amazing. I'd love to see that. I'm expecting Mark to come out any second and just do it.
That's why I was interested to see what the world record is. See how far away they are currently from it, these gladiators. It's quite an impressive time too, be about 20 thousandths of a second. Quicker there from Alex's time. 2/10, I mean. That's a lot of time.
Yeah, that is a lot
how
of
close
time.
they were. So yeah, probably low 11s, I'd say. Maybe 11:20 might be the very much quickest time of the day. This is it. This is the time to do it. Not much time left.
2 minutes 20 remaining.
Oh, there's a spin.
Spin from Radecki right there.
I can't quite sure remember what corner that was a spin out of before he went straight back in the pit lane, so we can get back out again as quickly as possible.
Mark Stevens on screen now, still attempting his laps. Not having much luck. Unless doing the last first challenge that we saw in his first race with us. Perhaps he's purposely
That's true.
Not going for the lap times.
The 141 car, the only car that's in the hundreds. As he goes through the tight hairpin. Spitzen. I can't get the rest of it, actually. So, yes, Mr. Mark Stevens is about to get a time in, his first time for the day. That's why you don't see his name on the timing table.
That was an off track, I think.
Will that invalidate his lap?
If it was an off track, then yes, it will.
Yeah, he's got back in the pits.
Yeah, it was. He's now on three off tracks. Although then again, we've got Troy Banks here, who's on 11.
Yeah.
Luckily, I don't think they're penalised in qualifying. They just obviously invalidate your lap. It's only in the race that they're penalised, and they don't carry over either between qualifying and race.
Well, Mark's got to get back out there because that's it. There's no time.
Yeah, he's got 30 seconds remaining. So I think he's going to do this.
Well, he can't because he's not going to cross the line in time. He's sitting in the pit lane anyway. He might have, they don't have enough time. So you ought to be anybody that's out on a track on a lap right now. Oh, we just have one person. Yeah, but hang on. If the time ticks down, if you have crossed the line, you can start another lap. I guess that's just checkered flag for the qualifying time to be over.
Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah, so the 48 car just crosses the line, I think, and the 7 car will cross the line as well. So they get to start the final lap, but that'll be it. So the 14 car, as you can see, coming around the final couple of corners on the map, that is. That's his final lap. His qualifying session is over. He's popping into the pit lane anyway. What about the 8 car behind him, a little bit further down the road? And that would be this.
No. I'll try and set the lap.
Yeah.
This was his out lap, though. So he's got, okay, yeah, on my timing, it is telling me you've got 1 minute 20 to finish up what you're doing.
Oh, okay. And what about Radic as he crosses the line in a second? There it is. Radic did cross the line. Did he improve? Up in a P3. Up in a P2.
Excellent. We could see an absolutely fabulous tussle between Alex and Radecki, and if not between them, it'll be between P2 and P3. And P4.
What about Steve Grabashki? Ooh, going a little wide there, and the hairpin, forgetting that it is a very tight hairpin.
I theoretically think that was an off track, so I think that'll invalidate him there.
It's just that Troy left now.
Oh, well, that was Troy that got the off track. I think. Yes, it was. My telemetry states so.
I don't see that, mine.
I've got a history of events that slowly ticks through during the race. Whenever anybody goes off track, it says this person went off track. This person re-entered track.
See, they're hiding all the goodies from me, guys, out there.
If I could send it to you, I would. And here we are. They're going to grid up any second. Load this. There we go. Stefan, the first man on the grid. By himself. Nice selfie as well. Thank you for adding it to the system. Always helps.
Yeah, Stefan's sitting there doing a Lewis Hamilton.
Yeah, having a bit of a chill before the race. That's Wanto in the blue car there. Paolo, as we've seen before. Glorious Portuguese colours. Hans joining in the orange.
So the drivers will be ready to load in. No formation lap?
I don't believe so. I think it's straight off the mark. I do believe the tyres do come straight out of tyre warmers. Not freezing cold.
Yep, that'll be the same for everybody. So, Tugro? Yeah, really going to have a hard time pronouncing that one. Let us know where you're from, mate. That's, yeah, those symbols. I've seen that before, the tiltes and things like that. You'll have to let us know. Welcome along, obviously. Welcome along to Hockenheim. Those famous Formula One tracks that have been around. Well, famous track, not just for Formula One. It's been around here for quite some time. And it's also one of those favorites. Used to be in the Formula One calendar, of course. Used to be also the European Grand Prix when they used to have that European Grand Prix. But we're going to get ready to go. Go ahead.
1 lights, 2, 3, 4 lights, 5 lights. They're off and they are away. Alex getting a fantastic start. That blue car in the middle there got a brilliant start. Not quite sure who that is. I think it's Joe Taverner. Alex just shoots off into the distance. Car going wide. Bit of tussling in the back. I think the blue car was Wanto, actually.
And so far, so good, so clean through that. Just what, yeah, you could see that one car at the back, right at the back of the track map. But there's a bit of a challenge going on. Early days, of course, no DRS is enabled.
Lots of tussling now. I've got a feeling this could last for quite a while on this track. All these cars so close together, and also the times in qualifying so close together as well. So the car off track, unfortunately, was Johan Roussel that we saw in the distance.
So still got Alex leading currently at the moment, trying to pull a bit of a gap away, which he kind of has. Just within that 1 second already, just to break that DRS. I don't even know where the DRS activation points are on this track, because we've been here a little while in Formula One. As a nice little battle as this is the lead at the moment, the 18th car. Well, it's not the lead, but it's Victor. And it's got a bit of a train, as you can see on that track map there. And so he might have made a mistake, but Stefan's going to make a run on him right now. Gaining 4 positions, perhaps now 5 even from Stefan if we can get past him. So the German here at his home track, looking pretty strong. Still got to get past Victor, it looks like. And that because this is becoming a little bit of a train behind. It's the Victor train currently at the moment. And that's allowing those other 4 drivers up the road there to get away. Joe's gained 4 positions, currently running in P4. Hanging out there with Hans.
Joe had a fabulous start, I think.
As Alex is just going quicker and quicker. He's almost got a 2-second gap currently at this point.
Victor.
So just to let us know where,
close.
yeah. Oh, yeah. You can see Victor's really struggling right now with this car. And this could finally be the overtake that Stefan's wanted. Oh, there's contact. Yep, that's going to back up everybody even more currently at the moment. They're still going to have a drag race before they turn over to the right-hand side here and go through this little kinking section. And there's going to be your turns 8 all the way to 11 to come out of the final corner for this mini straight. And then into the Motordrome coming up soon. Right there, turn 12. And they're going to have to slap on the brakes as you get into the sus curve. Such curve. Oh, it's run wide, no. And that's going to drop 2 places now for Joe. That's very unfortunate. Joe was going to have a bit of a lonely race.
Yeah. In the black and orange or yellow car, side by side. Oh.
Joe still dropped those 2 positions, but still managed to gain 2. And see currently at the moment on screen, there's a bit of a battle there behind Joe. That's between Baz and Jesper.
I've just been notified by race control. Between car number 6 and car number 6 is Hans Schlogel and Johan Roussel. That would have been on the start line where Johan Roussel ended by the side of the track and lost all his positions. It's been deemed a racing incident.
Fair enough. Thank you very much for race control for that one. As the race is settling in, and, well, Alex still has a gap of that 2.2, so he's kind of just turned it down a little bit now on those flying laps that he was doing. He's the only one in the 13s as well, too, currently at the moment with the clean air. Up the road, remember they were doing 11s, low 11s for qualifying. He's into the late 13s during race pace, but they're heavy fuel loads at the moment. They will have a mandatory pit stop to do.
Getting a bit busy in this midfield now. That's Baz Kessel going around the outside. Joe Tabner trying to, doesn't quite make it. Car goes wide there. That was Juho Puutinen. Don't think he took part in qualifying because I don't recognise the name. That's Troy Banks and Mark Stevens having a tussle. Oh, that was Paolo. Let's take a look at what happened there. Let's take a replay for this one. He just nudged the rear end of the car in front and it sent him spinning.
Yeah, Paulo Lopez now is going to be dropping to plump last place. Going to be investigated by the stewards, and I'll check. I'll give you information about that one once it pops up from the race control.
Mark Stevens timing the timesheet now. He's in P10.
Yeah, gaining 8 positions for our essentially second place man in the championship. We'd have to say second in the championship now because, as you'd mentioned, the other driver that had won 3 races early has no longer participated in part of the league. Of course, he's still in the league, but just not participating in any races, if he ever wants to. So things are starting to settle in at the moment. Well, Alex has got a 3-second gap now. As you can see on that track map, those 3 cars are kind of just in the league of their own at the moment. You got a bit of a gap there back to Stefan. But Mark's on a charge. After his poor qualifying performance, remember? Started practically at the back.
Victor going for a move on Stefan there. Joe Tabner also going for the move. Nearly 3 wide. Joe Tabner pulling out.
Ooh, yeah.
Victor getting the move done.
Yeah, remember Joe had a little bit of a moment and lost him a couple of those places. Now he wants him back. Could get it here side by side with the what looks to be like the old.
We just got some telemetry saying that we've had a crash. Troy Banks has apparently crashed. Has fallen down the timesheet, so let's take a look what happened.
That could be a tangle coming out of the corner here. Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh. So he's lost it. That's where a lot of the people have been going out wide there. They hit the loud pedal and then the car just has a little bit of a flick. A lot of people have managed, obviously, to be able to save it. In that case, I think maybe Troy could have. No, he didn't actually. Just lost it too much. And obviously there was an unfortunate victim that was right next to him. That copped a bit of side pod damage, no doubt. Famous hairpin of overtakes. This is where it seems to be all the overtakes that are occurring here this evening. but it does not look like any DRS activation points, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, whoa!
Oh, that's got to be a
Oh.
safety car.
That's
There's
safety
more
car.
than
This car's
three-
upside down.
That is more than 3 vehicles have just crashed. Safety car should be pulled for this one.
I would be surprised if it isn't.
It is. It's out.
There it is.
There he is.
Yep. Well, that's going to bunch everybody up now, isn't it? And give an opportunity there, perhaps, for Alex to get rid of those tires. We are seeing a couple of drivers going to the pit lane right now. So it's Hans going in there, Victor, Mark, Stefan. They're all in. Alex has caught the back of that safety car, as you can see. So he's now been slowed down. He can't overtake the safety car. It doesn't look like he's allowed to, so he's got to wait until that safety car comes all the way around in order to go to a pit lane. But that's going to allow these other drivers to start catching back up. Now, it's cost him, hasn't it? That has probably not panned out very well for him, but has panned out quite well for the likes of some of those other drivers that have already boxed, you got to think. Mark boxed, Hans boxed. They're currently back out P6 and P7. So they've got that cheap pit stop. Obviously Victor and a few of the other drivers as well too. You know, Johan, Paulo, Joe. So they were not past the pit lane when the safety car came out.
Got Meat Bread in the chat saying, "Don't spin, Scott." The guy did misidentify our safety car driver earlier. It is Scott in it. And,
Give us a wave, Scott. Give us a wave.
and he did spin in practice earlier today. Why?
Oh.
Which is why the don't spin the out there.
Should let me drive the safety car, I keep telling you. Mark's backing everybody up right now. We haven't got no message for a safety car in this lap, do we?
I haven't seen one, but I can't hear race control either at the minute, so it would be nice to know.
I don't think so, but the safety car's going very, very slow.
I see his dash. You know what? I get on screen.
I'm just going. Mark's boxing. Alex is boxing. So they are there. So now they're going to lose all those positions. Steve as well. They're going to lose all those positions to be plump last, I believe, unless they're allowed to. I know, and I don't know how it works out here with Formula One.
Ah, okay. I think he was slowing down to let the queue bunch together because he was going at 90 kph.
Yeah.
And now he just hit 200 down that last straight. Like some cars are a bit surprised by that and they left a few gaps.
So backing up, he was backing up, obviously, to try to keep him within 3 car lengths, I think it was, of the safety car. Just about to slow everybody down for the pit lane. And they've come back out now. Well, Alex is in P6. I don't understand how that works. How can Alex be in P6 when he boxed under the safety car and everybody was there?
Well, we've got Wanto and Lee in the front that haven't boxed.
Yeah, Wanto and Lee. The only 2 drivers.
Yeah, I think just because of where the safety car was and where Alex was, he didn't get to box on the first lap, did he? So he has lost a couple of positions.
No. But how come he came back out in 6th place? I don't understand, because everybody was bunched up, and your pit stop around here is... Oh, I don't know, actually, because I haven't been racing in F1 here for some time. I'd have to say probably around 20 seconds or so.
I think correct, actually. It's almost exactly 20 seconds.
That's just the average, really, of pit stops in Formula One, so that's not a bad rule to go with. But yeah, but it was just 20 seconds. Everybody was bunched up behind the safety car, so he would have had to come out about where Joe or Baz is, if not even further, or where Steve is, down 14th or something.
Yeah,
I don't
possibly
understand how...
unless there was an issue somewhere. I mean, maybe Stuart take a look at his pit stop and see if everything was... Oh, something's happening. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we've got Wanto and Lee finally pitting and dropping drastically down the order all the way to the end.
Yeah, they should be plump last because... Oh, not really. Coming up there now of the pit lane. Almost plump last. That's Jasper there. That's still on track there. And then Lee is last place there.
But
Sebastian's not in this race.
You know who this has worked out well for? Mark Stevens. He's a P2.
Certainly has. Yep. Well, he was one of the first ones to box, remember, the safety car.
Yeah.
Himself and Hans had both boxed right at the perfect time, and they had that opportunity to, of course. And then they have, snuck in and out and got the lead of this race. Alex got a bit of work to do. That's what I saw. Alex is now showing P4, which I still don't know what's going on. And allowing cars through positions.
Well, he's gone up by 2 positions because there was 2 cars in the lead.
Oh, that's right. Of course. So the incident between car 8 and 48 was that was car 8 Troy Branks and I don't see it, car part. Steve is just a race incident. And then the big accident that you just saw before, too. You still have a replay of that?
I do.
It could be a seeing a safety car in this lap, too, because safety car's way up the road there now, and everybody's bunched up.
Yeah, it's in.
Yeah, it's in.
Let's go back. We'll take a look at it in a little while.
Yep, because you might be overridden anyway with another replay right now, because safety cars breed safety cars. As they're all bunched up.
I don't have to open. Please.
Oh, nice. Here we go.
Look
at Mark. Fantastic exit coming out of the corner of Mark. He's going to have this overtake done before the first corner. Yes, he has. He's caught Hans sleeping there, and Victor's not bad picked out. So Alex has made an overtake as well. Not quite yet.
Ooh, this is going to turn into a battle between Mark and Alex. Now Alex in P2, Mark in P1. This could be fantastic for the rest of the race. 21 laps remaining, so we've got quite a lot of the race left as well.
Yeah, when is the last time you've heard that? A battle between Mark and Alex.
Well,
but Mark's a miracle machine this evening because you can see gained 17 positions. Man, doing a last to first challenge. And the only person that probably could deny that from him right now will be Alex, because I expect to see these two up the road there. Don't take it away, obviously, from Mr. Radicki. I'm never going to get his name. But he's dropping. He's dropping. Pete, the number 5 car's dropping left, right, and center.
He went off track. Going to take a quick replay of that one. If I can catch
he's still dropped.
There we go.
Yeah, he's off there, I think. Oh, there. No, that's Johan. That's his. He went off earlier on the corner. So he's gone really, really wide. There he is. Oh, he's had a little bit of a moment here, and that's probably gone out wide there, and just kept it. Did not keep it out of the barrier.
And he jumps the pits as well, so he's going to get a tow time.
Well, that's unfortunate for the driver because he was doing so well, wasn't he, during qualifying? His race pace was there. And now see a two-way horse battle, I think, between Mark and Alex for the rest of this race, as they're going to be back at their old tricks again. And we've got a report from that massive accident that you could probably show again now. If there's no action.
I pick it up.
Because Joe. So it comes up there, well. So they're on the mediums now too.
I believe found it. I think it's this.
All right, so keep an eye out for the car 14, and that'll be Joe. Now he's the one that's been slapped for a 5-second post-race penalty for that, apparently causing this accident. Yeah, there's Joe. So Joe's been naughty boy, apparently, according to the stewards. That's a 5-second penalty. Now, a late safety car will really hurt him on a 5-second penalty because Joe's currently running P7. But still, at least with half a race to go, may very well have time to build up a gap over his closest rivals to regain that 5-second penalty he'll be added later at the end of the race. But for now, with penalties as a driver, you get your head down and just keep racing as fast as you possibly can. Worry about that later on. So the times are starting to tumble as the fuel burns off now because Mark, and the fresh boots, of course, too, because now Mark and Alex are in the last laps, were the fastest laps of the race. Alex 1:13, Mark and 1:12.9. So times are tumbling, getting closer and closer towards their qualifying pace. Alex is in that, I was going to say in that DRS range, but I believe there's no DRS on this track. So it's just slipstream. No. Well, what are you seeing? That's Stephen Bass. Certainly is. And you got Jonko, I think, just in the background there. And in the middle, and there's not quite much space there to go three abreast. Not quite sure if the drivers were aware too that John.
Rewind.
Yeah, John's going for it.
It'll lock up to avoid that, and he's spun him round.
Yeah. Oh, he's facing in the wrong direction, but luckily just off the racing line and a little bit of a gap to some traffic. That's going to be another race incident. Going to be very, very busy at the moment.
Yes, one of the more busy races for the stewards of recent.
We got a penalties coming in thick and fast. I'll read that one out, apparently. And that's one coming back to the DRS, because Hans in P4 has been giving a drive-through penalty because he used the DRS while it's disabled. So we were talking about DRS. There is none. There's a DRS activation sign I actually just saw there.
Yeah,
but apparently to the stewards, it's been disabled in this race, so they're not allowed to use it. And he's been caught using it, and he has to serve a drive-through penalty. That's really going to hurt as they're bunched up.
It's more disabled for the 3 laps after safety car. I'm wondering maybe if on our screen we've got a bit of a graphic glitch where we're not seeing the wings open.
No, I'm not seeing the wings open at all.
Oh, yeah. I just saw an open wing actually, right there.
Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Yeah,
there is an open wing.
So, as Baz trying to get around here. This is into the tight hairpin when you do settle those overtakes just behind there. There they are.
Wow, they slowed down for that hairpin then so much that it almost looked like it was slow motion.
Yeah, they're still battling it out. If you can drop back to that car behind, Jonko and Jasper. There they are. If you want to go on board with the German driver, I want to see how this feels to be tucked up in the gearbox of another car. There it is. The T-cam perhaps. A little bit hard in the cockpit. Helmet, yeah. This is, yeah. No invisible halo there. Here we go. So let's have a... I'm interested to see. They're going to come around the final couple of corners here. Let's see if that DRS activation point is around here somewhere. There it is, I believe. I think it's just that's where the DRS is. Just see him pulling in here. Sweeping fast right-hand corner here. Beautiful. Got to use much track. And then you've got a nice little hairpin coming up. Turns 2, 3, and 4. Heavy braking, you'll see it. And it tightens up. He hit the chicane there. It almost sent the car skyrocketing. Get on the power. And let's see how much he can gain. There's a DRS activation. And you can see how much he's going to gain here. Gaining, and then into the famous hairpin coming up here, of course, in turn 6, where we've seen a lot of the action here today. Heavy braking. Look how close that he manages to gain, but still not quite enough. Do it all over again. That's fantastic to see that. As we've still got Mark and Alex, but they're getting pretty close together now. You might have to go over to that one because it's about half a second now separating between top 2 guns. As well as a nice battle there for P3, P4, and P5. That's formed. Yeah, Alex, if you go to P2, Alex is coming, putting some pressure right down Mark. Here we go. This is an overtake. Oh, he's gone wide. It looks like Alex has finally got past Mark. Are we going to see a repeat of last week? These two exchanging telephone numbers every 5 seconds. More penalties are coming in. Lots of investigations, and there's been a 5-second penalty for car 27 as well, and that would be Jonko. So he's got it.
Dudes all had their breakfast before this race, haven't they? You know, they're on it.
Exactly. Well, we got a few of them this evening, as you said, which is great. We're going to need them. And here's another. Oh, there's a tap.
Oh,
We saw this last week. We saw this opportunity, and I think as Alex just backed off there a second, and
I think he gave him the position back.
yeah, gave him the position back. Yeah, it looked like he was like, "Oops, my bad." Yeah, there's going to be some wheel action between these two top guns. The two guys that essentially lead the championship once again. That I said, even though, oh, that's close coming out of the corner. That's a pit. So there's damage. Damage for Mark. Is that the reason why Mark, went slower before, do you think?
Very possible.
Yeah.
That's unless anything crazy happens, that's almost guaranteed the win for Alex there.
Yes, exactly. But we have seen in the past Alex make a bit of a mistake, remember? Bit of a mental breakdown at one point accidentally and lost control of the car when he was leading a race before. Hello from Germany there. G'day.
Alfad, hello.
Alfad, welcome. Welcome to Germany, my friend. Are you sitting trackside and watching it? If you want to sit somewhere, my friend, turn 6 is the action zone here tonight. Today, obviously, in track time. More investigations coming. So, yeah, the penalty's been dished out for the car 14. He's got 5-second penalty. The 5-second penalty for car 27 now. And a drive-through.
Yep. It's that corner every time.
I forgot, actually, there's 2 cars that go drive-through penalty, 16 and 18. Hans and the car 18 is Victor, and Victor's currently running in P2, and he has a drive-through penalty to serve, and he's serving it right now.
Yeah, they technically have to serve these penalties within 3 laps of getting them. Otherwise, I believe they get disqualified.
Yeah, Alpha, that's they're getting a drive-through penalty because they used the DRS when it was disabled, and that was obviously those 3 laps after the safety car. Because if you just joined in, we had a safety car before with a big accident between 4 cars, which landed the car 14 a penalty, and that's Joe currently at the moment running in P4. He'll get 5 seconds added at the end of this race. There's an overtaking opportunity, perhaps on Joe, as we're speaking about. Actually, Joe's just a little bit further up the road there. I think this is Jonko, Wonko, and Baz, if I'm not mistaken.
That's Juho P.
Yeah.
Hootanen. Very good at pronouncing Finnish names, but hopefully I got that okay. Who has now got his eyes set on Joe Tabernet.
Which is good for him to keep close to Joe, because once again, Joe, with that penalty towards the end, a little bit out at the end of the race, will drop Joe 5 seconds added to his time, which at the moment, because they're still pretty much bunched up, might lose him a few places here. Lap 21 of 33. There's the DRS. You can see it open. That's the main straight. Have to close it before they go through that kink of turn 1.
Yeah, it'll auto close as soon as you brake.
Yep, you're right. That is practically almost a flat-out corner, I would say. Here's another DRS zone here. That's Parabolica, believe it or not. It's called Parabolica. Just like the Parabolica in Italy. And there's contact. The turn 6 action hot zone. That's 2 cars.
We're gonna have to take a replay of that one. Something just happened. It's completely switched our order up.
And now the penalties come back. I'm thinking fast.
There
Alex has a penalty. Oh, yep. They've been at it. And yes, guess what? Our race leader has been slapped with a 5-second post-race penalty for that collision with himself and Mark Stevens. And Mark Stevens obviously putting on some fresh boots there with some damage that no doubt he had to repair, running in P10 at the moment, but fast, because he set the fastest lap. He's in the 12s. His last lap at 12.63. Everybody else is in the 13s, 14s, and so forth. So he's got Steve just up the road from him, and Paul is into the pits to serve his drive-through penalty, I believe.
Mark just got to
P9.
Lopez.
Yep, Mark's absolutely flying. Just got to keep an eye out down the road. Well, he's got Steve just up the road. I expect him to be catching Steve pretty quickly. You can see there he's within that 1 second gap now. So he's within the DRS range. And he's seen a blue car before, hasn't he, in the past? But that blue car is usually Alex. There's a battle up ahead too. So as you can see into turn 1, I think that might be Johan
and Baz.
And Baz. Yep. They've been at it. Now, that's going to be a little bit of a problem there for Mark's charge back, because once Mark clears Steve, which I think he will right now.
He did. It was,
yep. Oh! Yes.
Cone.
Yeah, what did the cone do to you, Steve? Steve Grabowski. So Mark's on a charge, but that's the thing now. Mark's going to be coming up to that fight that you can see up the road. That's what he's going to be getting into. He's going to see Bass, Johan, and Joe all up there. He's going to have to make his way there, try to catch Alex, who's leading this race. Alex is leading by 10 seconds there on Wonko. I mean, if anybody can do it, Mark can, remember, because he started practically at plump last, and now he's having to work his way almost from last back up again through the field, and he's currently in a good points paying position there in P8 with the fresh boots on. Joe's looking pretty close there to Johan. I think Johan just got past Joe. He did. That's for Bass. That's for P5.
Bit wide there from Johan. Lost a position to it.
Car 14's been slapped with a penalty post-race. That's Joe. I think that's the second one, if I'm not mistaken, for Joe this evening. Yes, it is. So Joe's got 10 seconds of penalties to be added to his time at the end of the race. Well, that'll be good for Mark, as well as those other drivers around him, but it'll actually mean Mark will be able to gain that position up as well to try to minimize the damage between him and Alex leading this race. But Alex also has a 5-second penalty because of that incident. But currently at the moment, Mark is... I'm trying to see the gap to leader. So watching this Mark right now making an overtake, I think, on Baz. Yes, he has.
Yep,
so he's absolutely flying. 17 seconds, okay. So it is possible if anybody do it. Tap 24 of 33. And that's 17 seconds to gain. Now, obviously, he only needs to get, at this point, about 12 or so seconds from our race leader, Alex. Because he's going to get some overtakes done before that.
9 laps remaining.
The only man doing the 13s, actually, Alex has probably stepped it up a little bit there now too, because Alex is also lapping a 13, last lap 13.7 for Alex, last lap for Mark was a 13.4, so Mark's going to need to do a little bit more, but the problem is Mark's got traffic, as you can see. He also has to get past these cars that are fighting themselves. He probably didn't think he'd be back here doing this in this position when he was leading the race. He probably thought they'll be blue flagged for him, but at the moment he's has to get on with this. And he's done a fantastic job, hasn't he, crawling his way back? He's really got a ton of overtakes. You're going to see an overtake up ahead there of Johan on Joe. And once again, Joe has got 10 seconds penalties to be slapped to his name at the end of the race, so that's really going to punish Joe quite a bit. I'll drop him back to probably around where Stefan is. Might be behind Steve, car 48, P9. Well, a bit of a breather, I think, at the moment there for the stewards. They've still got 1 or 2 investigations, I think. I know they've confirmed all those investigations that they've checked. As who's exiting the pit lane right now? Jasper. It's in the pit lane. Oh, accident! Is that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was so close to being an accident, but not. But it triggered my telemetry, so...
Was it Bass or Johan? Somebody hit the chicane on the inside there and set the car flying up into the air a little bit.
Yeah.
It's either Johan or Bass, as you can see them battling. I think it's Johan, actually, because Bass just got past it. But we'll keep an eye on this battle there between Mark. Because Mark needs to get his overtake done. Yeah, Mark's been doing that. Oh, there's a spin there. Joe. And Joe's gone around, and that's going to hurt Joe even more if those penalties have been applied later on. But it gives Mark a bit of breathing space right now to get on with it, because he's got a bit of a gap there to catch up. It's about a 5 or so second gap to catch Mr. P3 of one hole. Yuho. There it is. Yuho. And that's going to be interesting because I believe the 27 car, I'm just going to confirm that one, has a penalty. Yes, he does. So he has a 5-second penalty. So Mark could be looking at if he can get past, if he can catch P3 and we keep within 5 seconds of P2.
Johan is going to do it. He didn't try it. I thought he was going to get on the inside then, but
yeah,
Kevin
Joe
Stan wants
is
an onboard lap.
Joe's gone to the pits, maybe to try to go for a fastest lap or something like that. But Joe's obviously got those penalties going to be hurting. Now Mark's got to get him on with this. I do think it's possible. Oh, Mark's pushing it. You can see the power slide coming out of that, but he's kept it. I do think it's possible for this Dutch driver. As you can see, he's wearing his lovely Dutch overalls. I think it's possible for him to get P2. I think it's possible for him to get P2.
I agree. I think it is possible for him to get P2. 6 laps remaining. I'm very curious to see if cameras will actually see him change setup on the wheel or not.
Oh, that's a bit sneaky.
It doesn't look like it is so far. I mean, you can see the brake bias is 56.6%. Don't know if that's his true brake bias or not, or if it's just a number that iRacing sticks there. And I believe he tore off his visor as well because it was dirtier than that a second ago.
So you're giving all those secrets away to Alex and the other drivers up around there too, because race engineers are listening into the stream right now and relaying that information to their team. Yeah, let's see what Mark's laps are flying. He's still in the 13s. Now, Alex is on the same pace as Mark, but really, I think Alex is just out of Mark's reach right now. Unless Alex makes a mistake, that's the only way Mark's going to be able to possibly get that P1 position. But Mark's still going to get an overtake as you're watching Johan still at it there, hasn't he, with Bass? And Steve is now lurking in the background there. P7 position currently for him, that 48 car. Mark's now 2.8 seconds behind. What was the driver's name again?
Which one? Yuho.
Yuho, that's it.
P3, yes.
Yuho. We'll get his names right at some point. So Mark needs to clear Yuho. Soon. He's running out of time.
Steve's got DRS. We might see an overtake attempt here. But he backs out. Oh, he backs out a lot. He backs out way too much. Got Mars in the chat going by his real name, which I'm not going to try and pronounce.
David. David.
And yeah, Mars, good to see you here again. We did have a safety car.
Yeah, some laps ago
18,
now.
18 laps ago. Yes.
18. Was it?
Yep, because we had 22 laps remaining when the safety car came out. Yes, these cars do go fast. I think that's kind of their point.
Hey, at least you can hear them. I can't.
Very good point. Well, we'll try and get this sorted for you next time.
I missed the sounds of these roaring V8s. Somebody's diving off in the pit lane there? No.
Mark just broke the 2-second barrier to Yuho.
Yeah, he's got to get on with it now. 3 laps to go. Just to let you guys know, Mark needs to get past Yuho and keep within 5 seconds of 1 in P2 if he wants to get that P2, because 1 has got 5-second penalty.
Good move from Steve any second here. Bit slippery from Johan again.
So Mark's down to 1.5, mate. But you keep an eye on this battle. We'll see. I'll let you know when Mark gets about half a second in there. Oh, going a little bit wide there, as you can see.
Oh, nasty lock on the
Johan.
inside there.
Yeah, the poor safety car's 2 lap down. Right. No more penalties at the moment. So being dished out or under investigation. So the stewards finally have had a little bit of a breather for about the last 8 or so laps. There've been some busy boys with a lot of incidents being reported here this evening. One
Mark
major
Stevens
accident.
is going for the move.
Yep. Wow, it caught him quickly. Even caught me off guard on this one. This is his overtaking opportunity. He's got to be very, very careful to allow enough space for that car.
Gonna be a drag race.
Yeah, because you see people just power slide in that corner that day, and then if you're there, can Mark get him here. He's going to have the racing line, but he's going to have to drive around the outside, and there's an accident.
That's
Uh-oh.
not the first time that's happened. That could be damage for
No.
Mark as well.
I'd say it probably will be. And now Mark's going to have to bring this car home because you're on 31 or 33. You can't afford to box now. That's how much time he's going to start dropping here. Oh, this could be a penalty for Mark. The other penalty before was just to Alex when Alex did the same thing to Mark, right? Just hit the back. But then again, Mark was the one that got damaged. So I was quite surprised Alex didn't get the damage.
He's catching again. He is catching.
Yeah.
He's in DRS.
This is for a podium here. And for a chargeback of all chargebacks, Mark essentially starting in almost last place. Gained 14 positions. Was leading this race after the first couple of laps, really.
He's
No,
going
no,
for
no,
it.
he
Gone to
wasn't.
the outside. It's a drag race. Mark has overtaken. Will he keep it this time?
He's got it, yeah. I think he's been very good on the brakes. You see the rear end doesn't slide out. It's got it. And now he's got a miracle to do and not enough time. Because what is he? 9 seconds down the road. That battle's cost him too much time. 9 seconds down the road from the man in P2 that's going to have a 5-second penalty. So it's not going to be enough. But it'll be a podium for Mark. And I have to say, definitely a driver of the day because, wow. From last place, take it. He got lucky, super lucky that safety car came out at the right time. He dived into the pits, as well as Hans in P10. Hans is currently running in P10. They both dived into the pit lane at that right opportunity. With safety car was there that caught most of the other drivers
Wait
out.
a second. There's one more lap. That was white flag. This is the last lap this time, so he still has an entire lap to try and get within 5 seconds, which I don't
5
think
seconds.
he'll do.
No, he's 9 and changed down the road. 8. Uh,
Oh, Yuho just had an incident.
Yuho's
Yuho just went
yeah.
off track.
Yuho's gone off track, exactly. I
This
just
is a
saw that.
replay.
Oh, he's lost it. That's it. That's an interesting place to lose it there. You're practically straight and you're going to swing it back over to the left. Anyway, another 5-second penalty for car 6, and that will be Johan, who's currently running in P5. A 5-second post-race penalty is going to drop him back behind Steve
And now watching
and a few others.
Alex Aguirre as he passes the finish line to win the Hockenheim Grand Prix today at Antistall Racing.
Now the race winner for the championship leader, so it'll be 4 to his name now, I believe, in this championship.
Absolutely, and that's Wanto following right behind. Mark Stevens just behind there as well. That is the top 3.
Yep, and we're going to have to see if there's any more incident between. Don't think there's anything between Mark.
So the results you see on screen, the results you see on screen in a moment, they are only preliminary results. They may be subject to change if any penalties get added post-race. Which we know there is definitely penalties that are going to be added post-race. Going to have to let the guys do the adding up and put it all into a nice, pretty table for us.
Yeah, I wonder if there's still any other investigations going on there, but that incident between Mark there might actually, if there is a penalty awarded to that, then I'm not quite sure how far Bass was down the road there from that battle, of whether or not Bass would steal that final podium position away from Mark or not. Or if it'll be deemed just a racing incident. I'm sure right now that they'll be talking about it. There's your results. If you'd like to go over them, please. Well, provisionally results.
Yeah, if you could get those for me while I try and organise some interviews, that would be fantastic.
I can barely read it. We'll go through them. Alex there taking a provisionally lead there. So the Spaniard has won that one because he even went for 5-second penalty. He had enough time. And that's one co there. Mark, Baz, Johan, Steve, Juho, Jesper, Stefan, Hans, Troy, Carlos, Lee, Victor, Joe, Oil, Radico, and Sebastian round out your 8 drivers there with a few of those retirements. As you can see there, Sebastian. Radico, that was a super quick. Had an accident and went around there. Unfortunately, not getting any points there today there. And Paulio, who had fantastic livery there, had some pace as well too, but 11 laps down. And Joe got slapped with a lot of penalties, but Joe's going to finish last place. Oh, when we got lots of penalties coming in as well too from our stewarding team. So this is going to be spicy. And, well, one co has a 5. Yeah, that's just the total from before. Yeah, all right. And it doesn't seem like there's any more penalties coming in that change that around there. So even with one co's 5-second penalty, it's still not enough to lose that second step on the podium. So he'll still get that one there from Mark. But recovery drive, unbelievable from Mark. Last taking advantage of the safety car, then getting first place essentially. Battling it out with Alex. Alex got past him. And he had a spinner, had to go box again. Almost plumped to last place. Came back out there, fought his way back through the field and eventually get a podium. Absolutely brilliant. That's why you never give up in a race. Performed like that. As Sebastian in the chat saying what his name is. In-game name is Sebastian Cienko.
Yeah, I asked him earlier. He apparently was removed from the server, and I'm not actually sure why. Obviously, we did have that one person that was that joined in the wrong car. And I'm pretty sure that wasn't.
Oh, welcome, Seb.
Okay, I'm just going to drag down our... Well, I've only got P1 and P3 so far. Wanto hasn't replied to me in chat, so I'm just going to grab these guys.
Hello, hello. Well, familiar names back into the commentating room. We were expecting a nice battle between you guys, but had started to form again. So, first of all, I'm quite sure who we'll talk to. Probably Alex first, because I think we're going to have a lot more to talk probably with Mark about.
Okay.
So yeah, fantastic race, mate.
Yeah, thank you. It was not the race I wanted to win like this. You know, hitting Mark. I'm seeing the incident now. It was quite a dive bomb, to be honest, and he didn't expect that I will launch there. But yeah, I could finally kind of win a race on my own. Mark didn't qualify. He sent me a message why he didn't qualify, but I couldn't read it before the race. And then the safety car came in the worst possible place for me. I was alongside the German flag on the final corner, so I couldn't do like a nin.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw that because you came out straight behind the safety car, and that was, as you said, well, that was practically a long way to go. But sorry, when you did box on the next lap, you came out about what P6 or something, 7 or something? Or was it further?
Yeah, because then some cars pitted after that lap. It was kind of surprising, to be honest, because I was checking my telemetry knowing that Mark and a couple of more drivers pitted the lap before. And I think I would have been like P10 or something like that. But yeah, it went well.
I'm interested because the cars were quite bunched up. How come you managed to get out in that position and not a lot further back?
I did leave a gap, like a 5 or 7 car length to the safety car to do like a sprint race from the safety car line to the pit entry. I don't know if that maybe helped, but yeah, it was surprising to be. And I think after the safety car came in, I went in the back straight. I went P2 behind Mark, I think, and it was kind of surprising.
Yeah, after the safety car, you're sprinting, and then we'll talk to Mark obviously about his safety car adventures. But yeah, and then after you guys were battling, it was going to be a repeat of last week's race. And then after obviously the incident, and you were awarded, mind you, too, from the penalties a 5-second post race penalty for that incident. But luckily you had your enough gap there from one tire to cover off that 5-second added to your time, because you can see there that's 11.4 second gap. So essentially that's 6 point something seconds. Yeah, another victory, mate. So I think it's 4 now for you in the belt.
It's the second one. The first one was when Luca got rear-ended in the last corner of the last lap. So that was.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I'm not counting that as a victory because it was a gift. But this one, yeah, I would have to not hit Mark and had a full race battle for once, because in Hungary we touched and in Hockenheim we touched, and I hope we can revert that situation.
Yeah, but it just goes to show you how even Stevens you guys are with the pace there, and you both go for it. If gap car, it's what we want to see the racing. It's panned out one way or another, isn't it, between you guys? So that's what happens with racing. But yeah, obviously that's right. I forgot you only had the one victory before, to say, as you said, championship, because you've just had so many consistent podiums as the reason why you're leading championship. That's right. Yeah, mate. Obviously you can hang around here because we want to chat to Mark now, so you can listen to what Mark's. Yeah, mate. Hey, well, my driver of the day by far, because what happened during qualifying? You didn't get a qualifying lap in.
Yeah, I was a bit late. I just joined before qualifying. I hadn't practiced, so I thought let's have a fun race from the back. So I chose not to qualify, and just have fun.
And you did. Have fun. So you obviously made a few overtakes, I believe, before the safety car, and then the safety car came in the perfect time for you, didn't it? Came out.
Yeah, it was really perfect. Yeah, it was 2 corners before the pit. So obviously I went straight in, changed my tires. I started on yellow, so I could choose red or white. I didn't think red would last 23 laps, so I chose the white tire. First time I raced on them, and came back at the safety car and saw that I was P6, but I knew most of the people had to come in. So in the end, I was P2, and when the race started, just after the finish flag, I overtook number 1, so I could create a gap. But Alex was quite fast, so he was straight on the back of me within 1 lap.
You guys caught, I think it was Hans.
Yeah, Hans. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you caught him. He was napping on the safety car restart, and you got him, and I think Alex got him by in the next corner or something like that. Anyway, so and then it was you guys up the road, because you were the 2 quickest cars definitely around this track today. I know you guys were lapping in consistent, 13s and stuff like that. Really, when most drivers were in the late 12s, 13s, when most people were in the 14s, and then you had to and then of course the incident that occurred between yourself and Alex. What happened there from your perspective?
Yeah, I didn't think he would launch an attack there. I thought I saw him backing out, so that's why I steered in. Again, a net code, so that's quite a shame, but that happens a lot within the F1 cars. They are really fast, and it feels like the server can't. Every server can't manage that speed, so it's really hard to do close racing with these F1 cars. And yeah, I got damaged, so I chose to go in, change tires. And yeah, I had wing damage, so it was like, should I go in? Shouldn't I box, get a fast repair? But yeah, if you like 2 seconds slower a lap, it was still 50 laps or so. So I chose to come in, change tires to red, and still have fun, do some overtakes, and still manage to get P3. So fine, yeah.
You got wing damage. I was quite surprised because I mean you're hit from behind.
Yeah, my rear wing.
Oh.
Yeah, I got a message, rear wing damaged. I think it was already a bit damaged because Victor hit me under the safety car just before the restart. So I think I already had a bit of damage, and yeah, that second one, yeah, it's just racing. It's fun. He should always go for a gap. So yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just curious actually how I'll come back to you real quick there, Mark, because I just want to ask Alex was here. You didn't get any front wing damage there, Alex, from being the back there of Mark?
No, I didn't get any damage. That's
Surprising,
why it
isn't
was.
it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was surprising for me. Mark, did you receive the meatball flag, the black and yellow flag?
No. If it's just a little bit damage, you don't get the meatball flag. Only if it's
The
completely
engineer
gone.
message.
Yeah. So
Okay.
it was a choice to go in. But yeah, if you got that rear wing damage, it's I had to guess how much I would lose every lap, and yeah, I chose to go in to get the fast repair and yeah, still have some fun.
You did?
Racing.
Yeah. And back to that. Did you put the soft tires on at that point?
Yeah.
The red?
Yeah,
okay.
the reds.
Yeah, because you're absolutely flying. And then you had to do much more overtaking, which you did.
Yeah, again, some fun overtaking. Somebody came out of the pits just right before me, so I lost quite some time there. But yeah, it's a fun track. It's still hard to overtake here, even with that long straight, because if you defend that inside, it's really hard to pass on the outside of the corner. Turn 4 or 3, 4 I think. So yeah, it's still quite hard to overtake here. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, but most of the overtakes were done in that turn 6, obviously the hairpin. That's where
Yeah.
that's the action zone today, and you got a lot of you got those overtakes done, and then you had to catch up to that battle. I think between there was a whole bunch of people of Joe, I think, and Baz and Johan. They were all battling it out, so that was interesting for you to get past them as quickly as possible. And then towards the end there, you had a nice little. I can't remember who that driver was specifically now. Wanho, I think it is Yoho.
Yeah.
You had to come together there as well. Did you get any damage?
No. Did we dodge?
Yeah,
indeed. Yeah, I didn't. Same corner with as Alex, but I chose to go wide. Just completely go on the outside, and suddenly he appeared before me. So I went on the brakes. We touched a little. I hit him on the back, so I backed off. He was still in front of me, but yeah, he braked a bit deeper than expected, so he went completely wide. But still, he was in front, so I backed off.
I think that might have been your P2 opportunity there.
I don't know.
With that accident, because I'm not sure if you were aware he also has a 5-second penalty.
To
his name. Yeah, and that's because I think he got a penalty for using a DRS when you're not supposed to use it. A couple of laps under the safety car. So that if you were catching him, you're about 10 seconds and change. I think it was about behind him.
Yeah, at one point it was around 7, I think. 7
yeah, you towards the end there, you start to catch. So I thought if you didn't have that little battle that you had earlier, you probably might have just had enough couple more laps there to break that and then steal that P2. But anyway, a podium's great considering you started practically last.
Yeah.
So
always fun to start last.
Any day. Starting last
Yeah.
and finishing on a podium, potentially even a P2 is certainly good.
Yes,
So I'm
actually,
no doubt. Yeah.
I think it's
Right.
the third time I did this, so it's
Yeah,
quite
you're
fun
right.
to start from the back.
Yeah, just do that all the time, I think.
Yeah, why not?
Excellent. Well, good to see you guys battling it out again. Good to see good sportsmanship, That
Yeah, it's racing,
it
so-
happens. It's racing, exactly. And, it's come together. And it's worked both ways. If you guys, as I said, somebody has come off on the better side. Always, it takes two to tango. And somebody's going to come off worse than the other. But you still keep your heads down. You still race and you still get back up there. You still both of you were the quickest drivers today on track. By far,
Yeah,
time-wise.
fun battle.
We'll see more of that, no doubt, going into the next track, which will be what, Gerard?
That's Monza next, my absolute
Monza.
favorite
Ooh, wow.
F1 track.
All right.
What do you guys think about that? If Mark's going to get a chance to even get some practice in and turn up last minute?
Yeah, I don't think I ever raced on Monza, but it's a fun. Yeah, I did. I did a league there with the GT3. So yeah, it's a fun track. I think it will be hard to get rid of someone to get him out of the DRS because those long straights will have a massive effect. But yeah, fun track.
And I'm come to see all the carnage into turn 1 and 2, of course, because that's going to be very interesting. Because those chicanes are going to be a lot more bumpy than what they are in the F1 games. You can see even the chicanes here were quite bumpy, and those ones in turn 1 and turn 2. I'm going to see some cars flying. Basically, we're going to see maybe Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton testing out the halos. Maybe you guys will be testing out the halos of the cars into turn 1.
If I see a gap, I will go for it. Same as Alex. So yeah.
If gap car, that's exactly right. I mean, that's there's no point in motor racing out there if you don't try.
Exactly. So yeah, it's fun to battle Alex. So let's keep it going.
Yeah,
Yep.
Alex, you're right. Before we let you guys have a lay down, your view of Monza.
I raced there before with formulas with the previous Formula One, which was the McLaren. So yeah, it's going to be challenging, as Mark said, to get rid of the DRS and not be a DRS train. And let's see how it goes.
Excellent. Vamos.
Vamos.
Vamos. I should know more Spanish. I keep saying that.
Well,
live in
thank you
Spanish
very
speaking.
much
Yep.
to our P1 and P3 drivers there. And I think on that note, it's bringing us to the end of this fabulous stream today. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that race to be quite as exciting towards the end there. I've heard that this track in these cars is particularly slow, as in not slow in terms of the cars, but as in slow in terms of the action. It's very hard to overtake on this track. As we saw, the overtaking opportunity was pretty much on 1, maybe 2 corners. But no, that was fun in the end, watching Mark climb up those timesheets again and try and break into that P2 position, which he missed out by a hair. But yeah, as usual, Biggles, thank you very much for doing this.
Thank you. Not a problem. See you again next week.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And
Thanks,
to all our
guys.
viewers. And thank you to all our drivers. We'll see you all next week as we head down to Monza in Italy, the Temple of Speed. It will be a fantastic race, and we hope to see you all there next time.